There's black medic, and it's in like a prostate yellow clover, and it's a nitrogen fixing, very drought tolerant. So it's helped to revegetate this roadside. Oh, the yellow clover is here, is upright. This is the second year of it, and so it's going to flower. There's only one thistle right here. And you can see there's so much competition for the thistle that it doesn't have a chance, in a sense. This is the way nature works. If you don't spray this stuff, and that's what they do down in the town of Basalt, they're spraying the yellow clover. And so,
so then that promotes the thistle?
Yeah, and they miss the thistle, right?
It promotes the thistle because they kill the clover?
Well, it promotes the, spraying, so that it promotes money and product off the shelf, and, So here's the sage already coming in. So the native stuff will come in, and farther up we'll see a whole different things where there's more native grasses. And this is Christmasberry. And see, these are all natives. Eventually they will take over the whole road and close the road off. This scrub oak will be across here and close the road off. That's the way nature works, isn't it? Wow. Now this is a skeleton weed. It's a mustard. Down on that meadow, there was a lot of disturbance, and there was just a sea of this stuff. And so there's only one plant left here. So it used to be, the whole corridor is full of this. It works its way out of the system. But look at the pollination possibilities. I think the Native Americans use this as like a chicory. They chewed this and...
What is that?
It's skeleton weed.
Skeleton weed.
It's a mustard. And again, another pioneer species. Lots of different mustards that come in. You can see this is almost, there's no noxious weeds in here. There's one thistle over there. On the other side, it's pretty much revegetated. The cheatgrass is there, but eventually it'll give way to the native grasses that are up and down in here, and more native. And then,
is this the native that's around you?
Pardon?
Are these the native grasses that are around you?
No, this is pretty much cheatgrass.
Okay.
We'll see more native. We'll see more native grasses up there.
Oh, okay.
That's mostly cheatgrass. But hey, here's a native grass right here. Yep. Right here. This is salsify. This is the wild salsify. It has a yellow flower, and in Europe they have one that has a purple flower, and I have it in my garden, and it's called the oyster root. It has a carrot root, white, and it's used as a root vegetable.
You see a bunch of it
like celery root. Pardon? Yeah. So again, this is another pioneer weed that's not that invasive. It's not that invasive. I'm not sure. I don't think it's on the noxious weed list even. But they put mullein on the noxious weed list. Everybody tried to put another weed on there because they had something else to spray. So it's going up this way. We already have the eggs from the biocontrol being laid on the back side of these thistle heads. Okay, see these brown spots there? Okay, those are all Rhinocilus conicus eggs, and they're going to hatch. The beetle, the weevil, chews up this, lays its egg there on the side there, and then plasters it over with the juice of this, okay? And then when they hatch out, they go inside that head and eat it out and parasitize it, okay? And then the grubs come out and become weevils, right? Yeah. Rhinocilus conicus. There's another thistle, Hortus, that goes down into the root of the species and eats the root. So these are native to Eurasia, these bugs. They weren't brought here until just recently to protect it. Like in Eurasia, this thistle is not a problem. It's like our native thistle. It has biocontrol over there. They didn't bring the biocontrol over. They brought the seed, became a noxious weed, and they started spraying it. And then eventually they couldn't make any headway with spraying, so they brought the biocontrol over. But the nozzle heads are still fighting the biocontrol. They're sending out misinformation about how it works, and that it's dangerous, and it'll eat something else, and so because they don't want competition, right? They don't want a natural way of dealing with weeds because they want to spray them every year. So that's here.
Profit
This is
deal.
biocontrol. So see, the native grasses are coming in here. There's some houndstong here, but this is 40 years. This whole 2 miles of thing has pretty much been revegetated. See down here, the clover and grasses. Even though it's cheat grass, it'll be replaced with native grasses because the developer actually had the sense to reseed this when he disturbed it. He reseeded this roadside with native grasses, and they've pretty much done their job. And so look at on this side where everything is revegetated. This used to be thistle, you know, years ago. It's all gone now. And all the way as far as you can see, it's all native grasses, okay? And this, how dense this is, and there's an allelopathic hormone that a lot of plants will extrude, and grasses have that. Not only do they just outcompete the thistle, and eventually the minerals that the thistle lays down in their dead bodies over years replace the minerals that are deficient, and they're no longer needed for the job. You know, they can go south, they can go someplace else, they can go over here, do their work over here, and they're not going to grow in here. They're not down in there either, because there's no room for competition. There's no room for them. The soil is good. The native vegetation there won't allow the thistle, for the most part, to go in there. So it's a natural succession. Questions? If you look up here, this is serviceberry, scrub oak, juniper pinyon, Christmasberry in the guild. Really good soil up there, really black, humus soil. The scrub oak builds really good soil because of the leaf litter. And over time, when you go in and you get black soil this deep in the scrub oak forest. And all this other vegetation that's living and dying back every year, the perennial vegetation, builds soil. And the weeds pretty much can't go in there. There's too much competition. And look at all this stuff, all these grasses. And the deer come down in here, and they don't seem to eat much of this grass. So it's really strange. I've never seen it graze that much. What I do see is the chipmunks eat the seed.
Oh, interesting.
Because they'll be, in the fall, you'll see all the seed heads taken off, and it's a chaff down at the bottom of the plant. And the chipmunks are part of the cycle, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And maybe the deer, I don't see them grazing on this grass. Maybe I don't know why. They don't see them, jumping on it as much as they should. Some of it they do. There's about 5 different grasses in here. Look at this.
She's giving way to the grass.
Well, we do have ticks here, so we want to check their body, in their bodies, and it's a no-win situation. And I mean, if they started spraying that road, I wouldn't be able to walk up there. I mean, would you want to walk up on 2 miles of insecticide and fungicide and herbicide, vaporizing off of thistle? No, I don't think so.